Okay, just a quick review of the water cycle. What you need to understand is the water cycle is the process whereby water is released from the surface of the planet up into the atmosphere and then brought back down again. The main source of water is obviously oceans, because our Earth is 2/3 covered in oceans, but you can get water from pretty much any source on the surface of the planet. You also need to understand that when we breathe, we also let out water vapor through exhalation, and plants and other organisms also release water, and we call that transpiration. Okay, so the water evaporates, we call that evaporation, which just means that it changes from a liquid form to a gas. So we've got this water vapor up in the atmosphere, and as we get higher and higher in the atmosphere, the temperature gets cooler and cooler. And when water vapor meets with cooler temperatures, the water condenses and turns back to liquid. And this stage is called condensation. And we get water droplets up in the atmosphere. In order for those water droplets to come together, we need to form a cloud. And in order to form a cloud, we need a tiny little particle of dust or dirt or pollen or soot, and then a cloud can be formed. The water molecules, the water droplets, come together, and because it's so cold up there, they actually start to freeze. So the water actually becomes little ice crystals. So all the clouds up there are actually full of ice crystals. And when the cloud gets too heavy with those ice crystals, then it drops it back down, and we call that precipitation. Okay, and you can have snow, sleet, hail, or rain as a form of precipitation. The water comes back down and either runs off back into the water, which is not good. Runoff pollutes our waterways. But that's one of the problems that we have, because we have lots of paved roads and driveways and things like that. The best way for the precipitation to come through is to go right through the ground and percolate, because it gets nice and clean, and then it becomes back as a source of groundwater, and we call that groundwater aquifer. And the aquifer is a great groundwater source of fresh water. What I want you to understand is that the oceans are salt water, but the water that comes back down is fresh water. So that's a source of fresh water on our planet, is precipitation.